Hey everybody! Today's video I'm going to be showing you how I get voluminous hair without having to use a round brush. So to start, I have had my hair in a towel for about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to be letting that down and towel blotting my hair so that it starts to dry. Once I have towel dried my hair a little bit, what I like to do is go in with my GK Hair leave-in spray, and I just spray that all over. And all of the products I'm using in this video are by GK Hair. It's what I tend to use in the salon as well. Then I'm going to be taking my wet brush and brushing out all of the tangles that I have in my hair. And what I like to do after I am done brushing is sort of shake out my hair just so it's not plastered to my head. Then I'm going in with a serum for smoothing and the Thermal Styling Cream to protect my hair against heat. And I'm just going to do a few pumps of the serum and then about a pea-sized amount of the Thermal Styling Cream. What I like to do is just rub that through my hand and then scrunch that into my hair, mainly focusing on my ends at first, and then you can go ahead and focus everywhere else after you have gotten the ends. And then to find my part, I go in with my wet brush and go to the side. My part changes day to day, so it's not a huge deal where it ends up. And then I move on to my makeup so my hair can air dry for about 15 or so minutes. The one product I would recommend is this volumizing spray, and this is where you're going to get that volume from. So what I like to do is go above where I have the extensions on the side and go and spray about 1 inch on each section, also doing where I have my part. If I did not have the extensions on the side, I would just do this all over. And then I just go in and sort of zhuzh the area, or that is what I call it. And then you just want to do that all over on the other side as well. And then for the back, I start at the very bottom since I do not have any extensions there. And I just do the same thing, doing about 1 inch sections and then putting that product all throughout the root area. And then to give my ends some holding power, I go in with a styling mousse, and I really like this one by GK Hair. I just shake it up and put about 1 or 2 pumps in my hand, and this is a super lightweight mousse, which is what I love about it. So I'm just going to go in and scrunch that into my ends until I get a tacky feeling. This mousse has so many different uses. You could also just scrunch it in the hair and wear your hair naturally wavy or curly. But obviously today we are going to be blow drying our hair. The blow dryer I use at home is the Babyliss Pro Porcelain Ceramic Blow Dryer. I like to use it on hot and high heat settings. And then the first thing I do is get the underneath section, since that section does tend to get neglected. I'm not using a brush or anything. I'm just using my hands to go through my hair and then just completely blow dry that underneath section before moving on to the top. So this part is going to be super repetitive, but what I like to do is just go in between the sections and blow dry straight up. And you are going with the cuticle, so you should not be creating any frizz when doing this. And then when I have done that for a few seconds, I go ahead and start to blow dry down just to really make sure that the ends are getting dry as well. And then I just go back and forth doing this, creating volume going straight up and then blow drying down to smooth everything out. And you can already see that it is creating volume without having to use a round brush at all. So what I like to do is the front sections first, and you can see that I do have my extensions, so I do avoid going upward to roughen those up because that will definitely create a mess. But you can just see that I'm going back and forth with blow drying up with the cuticle and then blow drying down as well with the cuticle. If you go in and just start to go crazy with it, that is where you're going to create frizz, which you are trying to avoid. And another great thing about the volumizing spray is that once it is dried in your hair, you cannot feel any stickiness or tackiness or really heavy product in your hair like some products will leave. And I can get away with going every other day washing my hair, even having these products in, but then you can see that you still have a ton of volume, which is awesome. And you can see that I'm just doing the exact same thing for the back. I'm just blow drying upward and then blow drying downward to make sure that the ends are dry as well. And you can just see that you definitely do not have to use a round brush to get volume in your hair if you are using the right product. Once my hair is completely dry, I go in to smooth out my ends with my GK Hair The Curve Flat Iron. It does default the heat setting to 356, but I go ahead and turn the heat down to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I recommend starting at 300, and if you have to go up from there, go ahead, but you do not need to fry off your hair by going up to the highest temperature like I know a lot of people do. So what I like to use is this flat iron comb. You can just see that it does help. I don't have to burn my fingers off while going in or messing with a normal comb. And I just go section by section and avoiding the outgrowth area by about an inch. I really just want to make sure that my ends are smooth. I don't want to be completely getting rid of any of that volume that we just put in our hair. So nothing fancy here, I'm just going section by section, avoiding the root area, and I'm just doing this all the way up. I typically do between 5 and 7 sections when doing my hair, but it does not take long at all because my hair tends to blow dry pretty straight. Went ahead and skipped through a few sections because it is super repetitive and easy to do. I'm just going to let the top section down, and then on my bang side I'm just going to be taking about an inch or two and sectioning that last section off. I just do the same thing, go through avoiding the root area and smoothing out the ends, and I do go in with my fingers toward the top just because I do want the top to look the best, just because that is what you are going to be seeing the most. Then I go ahead and let the top section down and just do the exact same thing, just smooth that out. And I did have my clip in for a little bit because I got distracted. So you can see that I do have a crease there that typically would not be there if I just worked a little bit quicker. So I do go in and just use my fingers. And if you do get creases like this, I just recommend taking those sections, lifting them up and off the head like you see me doing here, and then just going as close to your scalp as possible without burning yourself, and then just smoothing that out and sort of taper off at the ends just to get rid of any creases that you have. And once I have done that and everything is set in place, I go in with my GK Hair Strong Hold Hairspray. And this is definitely a buildable hairspray. You can do a light spray and you can still run your hands through it, or you can do a few layers and not have any sort of movement. So you can just see that I am going through and spraying the very top of my hair just to get rid of any flyaways and have hold in the hair. And once I have that done, this is complete. I hope this video was helpful for you guys and you learned how to get volume in your hair without having to mess with a round brush. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more videos from me, don't forget to do that. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.